Hey guys, it's Yuta. So, the anime version of Uzaki-chan Asobitai is getting a lot of heat in the West because she looks very young. But what do Japanese people think of the anime? I'm gonna share some Japanese reviews today. Uzaki-chan is on Amazon Prime in Japan and it only has 3.5 stars, which isn't very high but not very low either. And it has pretty mixed reviews, but most of the top reviews are negative. The most common complaint is that Uzaki-chan is too annoying. The heroine of the original manga, who was just the right amount of annoying before she was animated, becomes just plain annoying in the anime version. Although the anime has original scenes added, some lines from the manga, including the protagonist's thoughts, were cut from the show. Also, the production and composition are too different from the original. Things have changed for the worse. The manga version has much more positive reviews, and it seems like many manga fans are disappointed. Some people are even kind of offended by Uzaki-chan. The way Uzaki-chan interacts is so annoying it hurts. It's still the first episode, so I won't stop, but I just can't have a good impression of someone like Uzaki-chan who laughs at others' lifestyles, no matter the reason. Also, what's wrong with watching movies alone? You don't talk during a movie anyway, and you can always use social media if you want to discuss it. Yeah, I don't think going to the cinema alone is weird. I sometimes do that too. And some people are saying that there's nothing wrong with being alone either. What's wrong with being alone? It's old-fashioned to think of being alone as something pitiful. That's understandable. If you genuinely enjoy being alone, there's nothing wrong with it. But the most common criticism is that Uzaki-chan is too annoying. She's just plain annoying. I hate the way she ends her sentence with su. Personally, I think even teasing master Takagi-san is cuter. Guys, let me just say this. Karakai Jouzu Takagi-san is a masterpiece. It's not a valid comparison in my opinion. It's just on a different level. And Uzaki-chan's su is actually a contraction of des, which you should be familiar with if you are learning Japanese because it's very basic. But if you don't speak Japanese, I can send you some Japanese lessons where I teach you the kind of Japanese that real-life Japanese people speak, which will help you understand anime too. So click the link in the description and subscribe. Boku, kyubei desu. Now, a lot of English speakers are discussing her young-looking appearance. But Japanese people don't seem to be paying too much attention to that aspect, except maybe for her boobs. But I could find some reviews that were talking about her looks. I hadn't read the manga and had only seen cover art and the images from the anime's official site, but isn't there something weird with the size of Uzaki-chan's head? It was so bad that I thought there was some terrible failure in the animation. Is her head this big in the manga too? And I also found some other reviews that were saying that her body proportions seem a bit off. And I can see what they mean. Anime characters don't necessarily look like real-life Japanese people, but even within the context of anime, some characters look a little bit unnatural. But of course, not all reviews are negative, so let me share some positive reviews. There are only some minor differences from the manga, but one effective change was the scene at the beginning where the two characters reunite. The anime begins from the perspective of Uzaki-chan. I was surprised by how different this was from the original, but it was interesting and didn't feel awkward. And there's one review I found quite interesting. Yeah, I knew girls like this. Though they didn't seem to see you as a man in any way, they will interact with you in a way that's more than friends. If you accept the way she is and spend time with her, you will start missing her when she's not around. You become closer and closer without any clarity as to the true status of your relationship. And it becomes incredibly difficult to confess your feelings. So the reviewer liked the girl, but it didn't go any further. And I think we can learn some important life lesson here. If you like somebody, do something about it. If you don't, you will regret it. It's much better to take action even if you might feel a bit embarrassed. Your short-term pain will save you from a huge regret in the future. Remember this. But to me, Uzaki-chan reminds me of a classmate back in middle school. Unfortunately, he wasn't a cute girl, but he'd always want to hang out with me even if I kept saying no. He just didn't take my no for an answer. He wasn't a bad person, but he was just really persistent, and I'd sometimes give in. The last time I heard something about him, he'd been married twice and got divorced twice. And I wonder if he convinced the women to marry him with his persistence. So in a way, he was kind of like Uzaki-chan. And with Uzaki-chan, whether you like the anime or not probably entirely depends on if you like Uzaki-chan enough or not. This is the type of anime where you enjoy the characters themselves, so there may be some people who just don't do well with Uzaki-chan's personality. And some people initially didn't like her but eventually found her interesting. In episode 1, she was incredibly annoying. From season 2, I started to see something cute within her annoyingness. By episode 3, all I could see was how cute she was. It's an addictive anime. I've watched the first few episodes and I didn't like the first episode at all. I thought it was quite boring. But the second and the third episodes were much better. I found them mildly amusing. In my opinion, Uzaki-chan is just an okay anime that you don't have to watch. But if you do, at least it's not going to be totally boring. And if you watch it in Japanese without subtitles, at least you will learn some Japanese. But if you still need subtitles, you can start learning Japanese with me because I will teach you the kind of Japanese that real-life Japanese people today actually speak, which will help you understand anime like Uzaki-chan. So click the link and subscribe to my email group, Japanese with Yuta. Alright, see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao!